Well, it's day 4 of the MSI Rumble stage with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Jankos to discuss how things are going for G2. Jankos, obviously things started off so well, and now you guys have been dropping a lot of games recently. So, what do you think changed?
Well, I mean, I think that the first couple of games we dropped is probably because we maybe didn't understand our win conditions in a way. I think we didn't draft as good as we did in the past, but I think lately, or at least the previous T1 game, and even the PSG game that we lost today, I feel like that's just pure misplay. And it could be because of maybe nerves after losing, or it could be because of, I mean, all I can say is just excuses, right? But I think the play was not good.
Yeah, you lost because you didn't play well. Okay, that's fair enough. What do you think it is that has been causing you guys? You said it might be nerves. Do you think there's anything else?
Well, currently I'm not sure, right? I need to think about it a little bit more, but at least in the 2-1 game, I think we made so many bad decisions, and I think the PSG game we fell behind a little bit too quickly, too easily. Also due to bad decisions, and the bad decisions could come from us not understanding the game well, could come from again nerves, could come from us maybe wanting to win too hard, could come from many things. So I just think we need to understand ourselves a little bit better, and we need to go back to how we used to communicate and think when we used to win, right?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you more broadly. What do you think is up with MSI Rumble stage? Because I think a lot of people, especially after that first day, and especially coming out of groups, they were like, okay, well, this is a clear tournament. There's a top three, bottom three, et cetera, et cetera. But since then, we've seen not just things going strange for you guys, but also T1 dropping games that people didn't expect them to drop. And it's just been, I think, fascinating to see how it's gone. So, what do you think is really causing so much chaos in the Rumble stage?
I mean, I think BO1s are always like that, right? Where things just happen and you don't really know. Maybe in a BO5, those two would be clear favorites, but you have to get it there first, right? So currently, I think our goal is to, well, yesterday, before the game started, right? Or before the day started, the goal was to be the number 1 seed in the group. Right now, the goal is to actually make it to Rumble stage, because if we drop the next 2 games, high chance we will not even make it out of Rumble stage. So I think we need to put a little bit more pressure on ourselves, and we have to step up a little bit more tomorrow against the Vietnamese team and against the North American team. But besides that, again, I think it's BO1s, right? So many conclusions were drawn from people overacting in a way due to games being played in a certain way. And I also think the meta changes, and I also think that the priority and game understanding from different teams changes. So as the tournament develops, different teams will have different strengths, and they also have a lot of win conditions.
I mean, right now, do you have any concerns at all about making it into or making it out of Rumble? I mean, tomorrow you're facing a team that you've been beating up all tournament long, and then you're also facing Vietnam, who's already been eliminated from the tournament. So, is there any part of you that's concerned?
I mean, definitely, right? I think that we are still a good team, and I think we should be able to close out tomorrow's games 2-0. But at the same time, again, we are currently on a 4-game losing streak. We don't play our usual game. I felt like the T1 game was like a big miss. After the early game was a big mistake the whole game from our side how we played it. So if we continue to play the same way as we did today, I'm sure that we can lose. That is why I think part of me is worried that maybe we cannot bring back our former selves, but part of me knows that, if we win one game, we can win the other definitely. And again, we play against opponents that are definitely weaker than someone like T1 or RNG.
What do you think of T1? Because I know it's a tough question to ask right now because you guys just lost to them. But generally speaking, it feels like people have been really unsure. I mean, there was conversation before the start of group stage on before the start of Rumble on if this team would drop a game the entire tournament, similar to yourself. Since then, it seems like they've been really inconsistent. So, what do you think of them, especially having just played them?
I mean, I think they're a good team, of course, right? I think that they will definitely play better in a BO5. Again, I think there's a lot of overaction going on from the fans. I think T1 and RNG are still very good teams, right? I think they are probably the best team as a tournament. I feel like they are quite versatile when it comes to their champions, and they understand the meta very well. And I feel like these teams tend to get ahead a lot. I think mid game from T1 is struggling a bit, but that's also due to them drafting a lot for early game. And if this is how they want to play the game, that is it, right? In our case, though, for example, we won the early game, or we were quite fine with the early game, but then we made a lot of missteps around the map, and that's how they won the game in 20 minutes. So I just think that if we make it to BO5s, and if T1, RNG, and whatever other team, Evil Geniuses, maybe make it to BO5, we will see how strong the teams are and how the BO5s will go.
Yeah. Speaking of Evil Geniuses, you guys have been beating up on them all tournament. You're no stranger, especially in my interviews, to shit-talking North America. So I'm curious, Jankos, what do you think of Evil Geniuses? Do you think that they suck?
I mean, currently, I'm sorry to say, and I'm sorry to break it down to you, but I can't trash talk. It's like a karma thing where every time I actually trash talk, I feel like I lose. And tomorrow game is quite important. So even if it's an A, I feel like I can't do it to myself because I need to go with a good mindset, right? Of course, we won all the games against them so far, but all the games are quite close. And I definitely see a world where PSG wins a couple of games, EG wins a couple of games, and then we choke 2 games 0-2, right? And EG kicks us out of the tournament. So that is why I think we have to step up our game. And I cannot trash that today.
Well, I mean, it sounds like from what you're saying that you think North America is a pretty good region, one you need to be concerned about, that Evil Geniuses might be a very strong team at this tournament, and that North America is it's just a great place filled with tons of amazing players. Is that what I'm hearing?
That
from
is
you,
exactly
Jankos?
what I said. I think I'm as concerned about North America right now as I am of Vietnamese second seed. And that should just tell you a story.
All right. Thank you very much. Jankos, I know it's been a tough couple of days, so I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Well, thank you very much for supporting us. Of course, right now, probably there's a lot of people that maybe jumped on the hype train too early or maybe are very supportive because we started losing games. But I'm still very confident we can win the whole thing if we make it to BO5s. And I'm still confident we can, in our ability to play the game. So even if we don't win the whole thing, I think there's, many, many things we can take out from MSI. But at the same time, I still don't see ourselves not winning. So I'm sure we will do better tomorrow, and I'm sure that in a BO5 we can excel.
Well, thank you again so much, Jankos, for the interview. Again, I appreciate you taking the time to do this even after a loss. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS at MSI, at LEC, and so much more right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that interview. You might be seeing some misplays, and during this MSI, you're looking at it, you're like, wow, this latency stuff, whatever. You know what? If you want to limit your misplays, because you want to avoid lag, not network lag, but computer lag, you should check out Alienware. There's a link in the description below. Thank you to Alienware so much for supporting what we do here, and I'm gonna go get some sleep because it's late.